Namaskar. Very warm welcome to all the viewers and learners in this live interaction of CIT and NCERT. I am Renu Bhatt with you all and you are watching us live on PME Vidya channels, channel number 8, and apart from this channel, you are with us on our YouTube channels as well, that is NCERT Official and NCERT PME Vidya class number 8. And dear viewers, as you can see, I am accompanied by our sign language interpreter. Let's meet her. You are Miss Sonal Sidhu. Sonal, very warm welcome. And this session is for Science 8th standard students, and the topic that we are going to discuss today is very much interesting. It's Keeping Time with the Skies Part 2. और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है बच्चों, जैसे आपको पता चल रहा है दैट इज़ योर चैप्टर 11 एंड हम काफ़ी कुछ जानने वाले हैं. हम जब स्काइज़ की बात करते हैं, यूनिवर्स की बात करते हैं, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें इसमें शामिल होती हैं. अब बहुत विशाल दुनिया है, इसमें जब जानने की हम बात करते हैं तो काफ़ी चीज़ें जानने के लिए हो जाती हैं, और जब आप जानना शुरू करते हैं तो आपकी जो जर्नी है बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाती है. तो क्या क्या है इसमें जानने के लिए, क्या कंटेंट हम आज लेने वाले हैं, आपको बताएंगे हमारे एक्सपर्ट जो हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में मौजूद हैं. तो चलिए आप सभी का परिचय करवाना चाहेंगे उनसे. आप हैं मिस प्रीति मान, आप टीजीटी साइंस हैं, बाल भारती पब्लिक स्कूल GRH मार्ग दिल्ली से. मैम आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
थैंक यू.
And before we proceed further in this particular session, let me share some certain information to all the students out there. आप अपनी queries हम तक फ़ोन कॉल के माध्यम से पहुंचा सकते हैं. आप हमें करेंगे कॉल 8800440559 पे, या फिर आप हमें ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं. हमारा ईमेल एड्रेस है dth.class8@cit.nic.in. यूट्यूब चैनल्स पे हैं तो लाइव चैट बॉक्स में जाकर अपना कमेंट ड्रॉप कर सकते हैं. आप जैसे वहाँ पे अपनी बात लिखेंगे, आपकी बात तुरंत हम तक पहुँच जाएगी. सो वी रियली वांट यू टू पार्टिसिपेट इन दिस लाइव इंटरेक्शन इन ह्यूज नंबर एंड विद ऑल योर क्वेरीज एंड डाउट्स. और हम शुरू करना चाहेंगे अपने आज का ये टॉपिक, ये सेशन. और प्रीति मैम, हम आपके पास आएंगे और हम जब बात करते हैं इस टॉपिक की, हम स्काइज़ की बात करें, यूनिवर्स की बात करें, अपने आप में बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी ये बच्चों के अंदर जगाती है. तो क्या क्या कंटेंट है हमारे पास, ये हम आपसे जानना चाहेंगे. एंड बिकॉज इट्स पार्ट 2, तो पार्ट 1 के बारे में भी हम रिकैप लेना चाहेंगे.
Yes. So part 1 we mainly discussed about the initiative that various scientists, various Indian scientists, they have taken over to make our country pride in reaching those heights of the skies, right? So as we go with the name of the chapter, Keeping Time with the Skies. So what we are focusing more here, that how these skies helped us to know the time, right? What was there, what hidden secrets were there. Using those secrets we could define time, or we could say talked about days, talk about month, talk about years, right? So in part 2 we'll be discussing about the phases of moon, because moon plays a very important role, right? We all know that is our natural satellite. So moon plays a very important role in deciding various factors on our planet, right? And then I've told you that yes, these celestial bodies, they gave us the weeks, the months, the years. So we'll see that how, based on which criterions we have decided that yes, we'll divide our months like this, or we'll call these many days a year, right? So moving ahead with the chapter is, first we'll see what do we understand by this phases of moon, or why do we even see the phases, right? So in this picture I really want you to focus here, the full moon and the new moon,
Okay.
right? Because these are the two prominent things which appears in the sky when the moon is full. Sky is beautiful, right? And the cycle follows like full moon. It gives us the gibbous state, then the quarter state, then the crescent state, and then we get no moon in the sky, so we call it as a new moon day.
Okay.
Further, the cycle follows from new moon to full moon. Okay, so this whole cycle, it goes in 2 phases. So we'll see what these phases are. So first is the waning phase, right? In waning phase, what happens right after a full moon day, and what do we call it as? Full moon day, Purnima, right? During Purnima, the moon is the brightest,
Okay.
right? So from the Purnima, what happens? The moon, it starts to reduce in its size, right? And after say about 2 weeks, it doesn't appear in the sky. Now that is the waxing phase that starts, right? After a new moon day. Now new moon is the Amavasya, right? After a new moon day, slowly and gradually the moon again start to appear in the sky until it becomes a full moon day again, right? So these two cycles, they appear in our sky, right? And everybody sees it. Yes, most prominently everybody notice that when is a full moon day and when there is a new moon day. So we'll do understand it more with the help of an activity. We have the cookies present here, right? So what do we do? What do we do with the help of these cookies? It is very easy for the children to understand. It's a fun activity, right? So children can also try it at home. So you need this sort of biscuit, right? The cream one. So I'll place it according to the diagram which was there on the screen.
Okay.
Now here you see the full moon. Yes.
Yes.
And this is our
New moon.
new moon. Now what I have told you, it follows a cycle. So when we talk of the waning phase, from here to here, this is the waning phase. What happens in waning phase? The size keeps on decreasing, decreasing, decreasing until the moon disappears from the sky.
Okay.
Yes. So the first phase that comes here is waning gibbous. Now it appears something like this. Now if this is the full moon, so you can say that 25% of moon is missing, only this part appears. So the shaded portion appears to us in the sky and this is called as waning gibbous, right? Now next comes when the moon is half. Again the red shaded portion is visible to us. This is waning quarter.
Okay.
And the third phase that appears prominently is waning crescent. So now that 25% is appearing to us, right? It looks like that Eid ka Chand, we say that it's a crescent moon. So that crescent phase looks like that. Okay. So from full moon to new moon, this is waning phase.
Waning phase. Okay.
Right? Now again the cycle goes on from new moon to full moon, and this time this is called as waxing phase. Now what exactly happens in waxing phase? The moon again start to appear. Okay. So the first phase will be what? The crescent phase, like this. So this much part of the moon is visible to us. Now similar to this one, we'll be having waxing quarter, wherein the half part of the moon is visible to us. Okay. And the third, we are having waxing gibbous. In this case, this much of the moon is visible, around 75% we can say moon is visible to us, right? So this whole cycle goes on and it takes about 2 weeks, wherein from Purnima to Amavasya, then from Amavasya to Purnima, right? Now because
So ma'am,
of
how long is a full cycle, ma'am?
2 weeks it takes,
Okay.
around 15 days right, from the full moon to new moon and from new moon to full moon. So the whole cycle, it takes around 29 point something, we measure it as. So it takes this much amount of time to complete that full cycle. Like from full moon to full moon, right? So the calculation is around 29 point something. Okay. So now, because this happens continuously, the moon is undergoing both the phases, the waning phase and the waxing phase, and together it is a regular repeating cycle. Now this never stops, right? It happens, it keeps on happening, and it's a cyclic process. So that becomes one of the criterion wherein our ancestors, they have observed this, that yes, this phenomena is occurring after a fixed interval of time. So it's a kind of periodic motion that was occurring again and again, repeated in a cycle, in a loop. Okay. Now before proceeding to how we use this information further, we need to know certain facts about moon, right? So we'll quickly see those facts. So what are those facts? First, we say that in the phases, I have told you that what is happening, the size is decreasing and then it is increasing. But exactly what happens, moon, it doesn't change its shape, right? It is not producing its own light. What happens, it only reflects the sunlight. Fine. Second point, when we see it, is that one half of the moon is always illuminated by sun. It's very prominently shown in the picture also, right? In this case, this half is illuminated by sun. In this case, this half is illuminated by sun. The portion which is dark, sunlight is not reaching towards that portion. It remains dark. So the reflecting surface will be the one wherein the sun is providing the light, the sun is illuminating, and the surface of moon is reflecting back that light, right? Because just now in point 1 we have seen that moon doesn't have its own light. What it does, it only reflects the light that it gets from the sun. Now next is, so we know there are phases of moon, right? Now the one part of it, it will always be towards earth, and one away from the earth. Yes. So we even have seen in the mission wherein we have reached the surface of the moon. So what has happened in that our satellite, it reached, it helped the project to reach up to that part of the moon where no light is visible. Yes, we could reach up to that part. Fine. So the one which is towards us, facing towards us, it is always illuminated because we only see the bright part of the moon. We don't see the dark part of the moon. Okay. And the last point is, now because there are different phases, okay, so those phases, what do? They help us in deciding the factors, right? Now what are the factors that we'll see in the next, that I've told you that how are we using that information. So we used those information for making the calendars. Right? Now how these calendars came into existence, right? Earlier we were not having any sort of calendars. Okay. So these calendars came into existence. So we took sun, earth and moon as reference point. Okay. So we all know moon is our own satellite. Moon revolve around earth. Yes, we have seen that complete from one full moon to another full moon. It is taking about 29 days. So that is the whole cycle when it is getting completed around earth. Now further we have seen that earth, it revolve around the sun. Yes. Now again, during a day and night, again they are periodic. So day comes, then night comes. How it is happening? Because earth is revolving around the sun, right? So we have seen that sun is rising from the east and it is setting in the west. Yes, the moment is like this only, that it appears that sun is rising from the east and it sets in the west, because the earth is also
Moving.
rotating. It is rotating also, it is revolving also, because it rotates on its own axis and it revolves around the sun, right? Now, there is a day in the time when our shadow appears to be the shortest. Yes, when that happens, when the sun is right above our head, that time the shadow is the shortest. So the reference was taken between those 2 points of time when the shadow is the shortest, and it is calculated as 24 hours. Right, because the sun is say rising, it is setting, and it is the interval during which it is happening, it is of 24 hours. So this was kept as reference. Now further, the phases of moon we have talked of, that how much time does moon takes to revolve around the earth, then how much time earth is taking to revolve around the sun. Right, all the values are there on the screen, you can check it out, right? These were the references of sun, earth and moon, which helped us in determining the factors and to use these values to form calendars. Now calendars, they are of 3 types. There is a solar calendar, lunar calendar and lunisolar calendar. Okay. Now solar calendar, as we go with the name only, so it is based on what? It is based on earth revolution around the sun, right? The revolution of earth around the sun, and it takes about 365 days. Okay. Now what happens in this? The season remains fixed. So we know more prominently there are 4 seasons, summer season, then rainy season, then winter, then spring. So those seasons remain fixed, and further that leap year when it comes, so it gets calculated, and we all know that after every 4th year is what? It's a leap year, wherein we add 1 more day in the month of February, and it becomes 29-day month. Next we have lunar calendar. Now this lunar calendar, it is dependent on what? It is dependent on the phases of moon. We have seen different phases. It's a full moon, then the gibbous, then the quarter, then crescent, then again it comes to a new moon day, right? The waxing and the waning phase. Now this lunar calendar, it is about 354 days.
Okay.
Now what happens in this? Because it is completely based on the movement of moon. So we see that yes, seasons do shift. Fine. Now the third one is the lunisolar calendar. Now lunisolar calendar, we mix up both the solar and the lunar calendar, the phases of moon plus the sun cycle. Okay. Now it is being adjusted to match the solar year. Season, they remain nearly fixed. We can see a lag, but yes, it is almost fixed. And whenever there is such adjustment done, we see an Adhik Mas, the extra month.
Okay.
Now this one, the last one, it is talking more of the Panchang that is used in our country.
Okay.
Right? Now simplest example I can take, that Diwali. Diwali is a festival which is celebrated on Amavasya, right? And the month is Kartik Amavasya, right? So we do find that the date is not fixed for Diwali, but the tithi is fixed.
Okay.
Right? So that tithi, from where it is coming? From the lunar calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how this synchronization is being made, wherein we have followed both the phases of moon and the sun cycle to decide the calendar that is being used in our country, the Panchang.
Okay.
Fine. So now this was what we were discussing, that yes, festivals in our country, they are dependent on the different phases that occurs. Yes, they are astronomically related, because first examples we have seen that Diwali, when we are celebrating it, we are celebrating it on Amavasya. If we talk of Holi, now Holi is celebrated on a full moon day.
Okay.
Same way, Buddha Purnima, it is falling and the day is a full moon day, right? Eid, we all know, Eid, it is celebrated, right? And we see the moon in its crescent form. So that's why you must have seen that sometime the days get confused, whether it is on a, say, 28th or 29th. Why? Because it is completely dependent on that crescent shape moon whenever it is visible in the sky. Okay. And Dashera, if we talk of, so when it is celebrated on the 10th day in the Ashwin month. So this remains fixed because it is completely dependent on the way lunar cycle is moving. Okay. Furthermore, what happened, we know that moon is our natural satellite, right? But we needed certain artificial satellite also in the space. Now how these satellite helps us, right? Now what they exactly do, they orbit around the earth. Now if this is the satellite, what exactly it is doing? It is orbiting around the earth, and what the all information it provides at, it helps in communication, navigation, weather monitoring. It even helps in disaster management, right? And scientific research. Now communication, if I talk of, so how it is helping? See our mobile phones, right? We have got towers of it, right? And the signals, they are helping, the signal is reaching. Okay. So because of this advancement in the technologies and because of the satellites which are there, navigation also it is helping in. We are easily getting the Google Earth view. Yes.
Right.
How is that possible? Because of the satellites which are present. Weather monitoring, we all listen to the weather forecast that comes in the news. So how exactly are we getting that weather forecast? It is with the help of the satellites only, right? So they are very important in knowing that what is coming and what we need to be careful about our planet.
Right. That in these ways satellites are very much important for all of us. That's why we have lot of satellites in universe. तो हमने आज इस चैप्टर में पढ़ा, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें पढ़ी बच्चों. मून के फेजेस पढ़े. मैन मून के फेजेस जो होते हैं उससे जो एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल ये एक्टिविटीज़ हो रही हैं आसमान में वो डायरेक्टली हमको इम्पैक्ट कर रही हैं. कैलेंडर्स बने हैं, कैलेंडर्स के साथ साथ हमारे फेस्टिवल्स उन पर डिपेंड करते हैं. और जैसे आपने बताया कि हम यूज़ करते हैं ल्यूनी सोलर कैलेंडर, राइट? तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो हमारी तिथि होती है वो कैलेंडर में, इसीलिए डेट हमेशा चेंज आपको मिलेंगी अगर हम अपना पांचांग का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. तो ये तो बात हुई मैम, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है कि जो सोलर कैलेंडर है वो भी है, लूनर कैलेंडर भी, डेफिनेटली उनकी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस होगी आज के टाइम में भी, बिकॉज इन साइंटिफिक रीजंस, दे हैव सो मेनी साइंटिफिक रीजंस बिहाइंड दैट. वो अभी भी एक्यूरेट हैं, लेकिन समय हमें बिल्कुल इजाज़त नहीं दे रहा है कि हमें सत्र को आगे बढ़ाएं. वी हैव टू रैप अप दिस सेशन हेयर ओनली. लेकिन जाने से पहले हम प्रीति मैम आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं. थैंक यू सो वेरी मच मैम फॉर दिस वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड इंसाइटफुल सेशन. और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है हमारे बच्चों को बहुत पसंद आया होगा. काफ़ी बातें आपको जानने को मिली हमारे आज के इस चैप्टर में जब हम बात करते हैं कीपिंग टाइम विद द स्काइज. और ये हमारा पार्ट 2 था. और यहाँ पर हम सोनल आपको भी धन्यवाद करते हैं. इसके साथ हम आप सभी को बताना चाहेंगे अगर आप 4th और 7th ग्रेड के NCERT की नई टेक्स्ट बुक्स ऑर्डर करना चाहते हैं तो अमेज़ॉन, फ्लिपकार्ट और NCERT की ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट पर जाकर ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं. इसके साथ ही हम आपको आगे आने वाले सेशंस के बारे में भी जानकारी देना चाहेंगे. अब से कुछ ही देर में अपने लाइव इंटरेक्शन के साथ हम हाजिर होंगे, जो कि मैथमेटिक्स के 1 स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हमारा आज का टॉपिक रहेगा प्रोपोर्शनल रीजनिंग पार्ट 1. 4 बजे अपने ऑनलाइन प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम में हम आज बात करने वाले हैं. वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है और हमारा ये ई-रिकॉर्ड संरक्षण का महत्व और उद्देश्य. और इसके साथ ही हम 5 बजे बात करेंगे मैनेजिंग एग्ज़ाम टाइम कंसंट्रेशन प्रॉब्लम इस टॉपिक पे. तो आप इन तमाम सत्रों में हमारे साथ बने रहें और अपनी क्वेरीज़ और अपनी बातें हम तक पहुंचाते रहें. हम चाहते हैं कि आप अपने फीडबैक्स भी हम तक पहुंचाएं. तो इसी के साथ मैं रेणु भट्ट ले लेती हूँ आप सभी से अनुमति. आप बने रहें PME विद्या चांस पर और अधिक रोचक और ज्ञानवर्धक कार्यक्रमों के लिए. नमस्कार.